Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and today I want to talk about game changers. So we have a big old game changer list. We all know that. I'll put it right up here on screen for you for just a second. We know that Wizards added a bunch of game changers when they unbanned some cards. They added things like Panoptic Mirror, Orcish Bowmasters, Gamble, Deflecting Swat, Teferi's Protection, a whole bunch of those cards that change the game or warp the game in some way. So I was kind of looking at this list, and I was thinking of three cards. I came up with three cards that I think could potentially make it onto the game changer list the next time they update it or sometime in the future. They're three pretty simple ones. One of them I don't think is going to be a huge surprise. The other ones might be a little bit more controversial. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So first up, we have Sensei's Divining Top. Now, this card on the surface is pretty unassuming, right? It's a top. But, and I'm not even thinking about this in terms of combo potential, right? Which there are a lot of combos with top that let you draw through your deck. That is what it is. We all know it. We've all seen it. I'm actually talking about how much time it takes up in the game. So, as I have mentioned in previous videos, used to play Legacy, and I still have a deck together. And at one point in time, top was everywhere in the format, constantly. And I cannot tell you the amount of games that I would play at either a local Legacy tournament or at a Star City Games 5K or a GP where my opponent is sitting there with top, and I would make an action, right? I would tap and I would cast a spell, and the opponent would be like, all right, I'm going to look with top. All right, sounds good. Top's resolved. And then I would take my next game action, and somebody would be like, all right, I'm going to top. Look at the same three. Not move them. Take my next game action. All right, I'm going to look at top. Take my same game action. I have seen this exact same play style happen in Commander. And Commander games are already much longer than your average 1v1 game, right? It's much longer than your average one Legacy game, unless you're my friend Dewey playing Blue-White Control, in which case, that is what it is. Those are always going to go long. But you have to be able to be conscientious of other people's time, right? And so top, kind of like in the same vein, though not as in your face as like Nadu was, is kind of egregious in the amount of time it bogarts from everybody, right? The amount of game actions and game time you are taking up in comparison to your fellow players, right? And so I think this is the least likely, but I could honestly see it, especially if more combos appear with it. If say CEDH or something becomes a larger thing, I don't even know if top sees CEDH play, but say Commander gets like some more visible games, they make some more Commander tournaments, people take it, and then top slows games down, as well as other things, right? And top could be representative of a whole vein of cards that just ends up taking up so much time from people just using it over and over and over again. But that is why I think that one could, at some point in time, make it onto the Game Changers list. Next up, at number 2, we have Mystic Remora. And this one seems pretty straightforward, and that's why I'm going to say that it could very well make it on there. We already have Rhystic Study on the list, right? We have a bunch of other cards like Rhystic Study and Mystic Remora that are already making it on there that draw you a bunch of cards pretty much for free. But Mystic Remora hasn't made it on there. And yeah, I think the reason it hasn't is because of its cumulative upkeep of 1. But even with cumulative upkeep of 1, Mystic Remora nets people so much, right? Unless people are willing to sit there and stall out the game and stall it out. I have seen games where somebody has dropped turn 1 Mystic Remora and paid for it the first turn, and yeah, like they're eating 2 turns of doing nothing, right? But what ends up happening is they end up drawing like 6-7 cards off of that, if not more. and that sets them up. So even though they dunked out their first 2 turns, they're still able to come back because they filled their hand with everything that they need to be able to get ahead after that point. I just personally think that it could make it on there. It's not as strong as Ristic Study, right? It's not a Narset, but I think it changes the game enough to where it could make it on there, right? Think of like your Smothering Tithes, your Ristic Studies, right? Things that tax people. In that same vein, I could see Esper Sentinel making it on there at some point in time, depending on how things go. And then last, but certainly not least, we have our newest card that I think might make it on there. And I might be alone in this, so please let me know in the comments. Tell me if you think that this will make it on there. But we have Vivi Ornithir. I have played a lot of Commander games. I have played a lot of Commander games on Spell Table. I have played a lot of 1v1s in Brawl. I have played a lot of in-person Commander games. And every single game where this card shows up, if it stays on the board for even a turn, the game is warped. The game is completely warped and it becomes a 3v1. And this wouldn't be a problem if it were a big bomb late game, right? But Vivi costs 3. Vivi costs 3 and is extremely easy to pump it up and get its engine moving, right? You can put boots on him. You can do multiple ways, especially in blue-red, to protect, right? If you have your free counter spells, like your Fierce Guardianships, your Force of Wills, your Pact of Negations, etc. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of times I have seen this thing get protected through multiple attempts to hate on it. And I just think, personally, Vivi stands the largest chance of any card I've seen printed in like the last 6 months to make it onto the Game Changers list. It is just so warping every single time it comes down. It is a world-ending threat that pretty much the whole board has to unite against, and half the time when they drop the Vivi, they do so much on that turn that there's no stopping it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what cards you think might make it onto the Game Changers list. Let me know if I'm completely off base, which I could be, right? This is all my opinion. I'm just some dude in his office talking about Magic. You could be like, okay, boomer, or something like that. But let me know what y'all think. And I will see you all in the next Hidden Gibbon discussion video.